There is a strange moment right before someone tells you the truth. They pause for a second. They look at you differently. It feels like something is sitting behind their eyes that they are not saying out loud. You can sense it even if nothing has been spoken yet. What this really means is simple. People do not hide love because it is weak. They hide it because it matters too much. It feels risky. It feels like once it comes out, nothing will stay the same again. So they hold it in. They wait. They watch. They stay quiet until the feeling becomes stronger than the fear. Sign 1. Their behavior becomes emotionally inconsistent. One day they feel close to you, not just friendly but fully present. They listen more carefully. They respond faster. Their attention feels real and focused, like you are the most important thing in that moment. But then the next day, something changes. They pull back. Their replies become short. Their energy feels distant. They are still there, but not fully there. It creates confusion. It feels like mixed signals. At first, it does not make sense. You may think they are just busy or distracted. But underneath this pattern is something deeper. It is internal conflict. When someone has strong feelings for you, but is scared of losing control over those feelings, their emotions do not stay stable. They move in waves. One moment, their heart pushes them closer to you. They feel like they should say something. They feel like this is the moment to act. Then the next moment, fear takes over. Fear of rejection. Fear of changing everything. Fear of losing you completely if they speak. So they move forward and then step back again. It is not confusion about their feelings. It is fear mixed with emotion. And the closer they get to accepting what they feel, the harder it becomes for them to act normal around you. You may notice small changes. They start a conversation warmly and then suddenly go quiet. They seem fully engaged and then distant without explanation. It feels like something inside them is fighting itself, because that is exactly what is happening. They are stuck between two fears. The fear of staying silent and losing you slowly, and the fear of speaking and losing you instantly. And at this stage, they have not decided which fear is worse. Sign 2. They keep revisiting shared memories. Out of nowhere, they bring up small moments from the past, things you barely remember, a random conversation, a small detail, something that seemed unimportant to you at the time, but they remember everything. They remember what you said, how you said it, and even how you looked in that moment. At first it seems casual, like simple nostalgia, but it is deeper than that. They do not just remember those moments, they return to them again and again. They replay them in their mind. They attach meaning to them. They treat those small moments like they are important milestones. For them, one simple moment may have changed how they saw you. Maybe you smiled at them when they needed it. Maybe you listened when no one else did. Maybe you treated them with kindness without even realizing it mattered. That moment becomes an emotional anchor, something they hold on to, something they revisit when their feelings grow stronger or when they feel confused. When they bring it up again, they are not just remembering, they are reconnecting with how they felt in that exact moment. You may see it when they say things like, "They still think about that day," or "Remember when that happened." To you, it was just a normal moment in life. To them, it may have been the beginning of something they never expressed out loud. And as their feelings grow stronger, those memories come back even more often. It is their mind trying to hold on to what started everything. Sign 3. Their eye contact feels different. At some point, the way they look at you changes. It is not obvious at first, but it becomes noticeable over time. Their gaze lasts a little longer than normal. Sometimes it feels soft and warm, like they are seeing something beyond your face. Other times it feels intense, like there is something unspoken behind it. Then, when you notice it, they quickly look away. That shift, That moment of looking and then breaking away is not random. Eye contact is hard to control when emotions are real. Words can be filtered, actions can be controlled, but the eyes react before a person has time to think. When someone has strong hidden feelings, looking at you can feel overwhelming, because in that moment, everything they are hiding is reflected back at them. So they look at you, and then they look away, as if they revealed too much without speaking. Sometimes it feels like they are trying to say something silently, like they are searching your face for a sign, a hint, a possibility, something that tells them whether they should continue or hold back. Before they risk confessing, they want to know if there is even a small chance you feel something too. And the closer they get to their truth, the harder it becomes to hide it in their eyes. Sign 4. They start testing you emotionally. Their questions begin to feel slightly different, not direct, not obvious, but they carry hidden meaning. They might casually ask what kind of person you like, or whether timing matters in relationships, or what you think about love in general. On the surface, it feels like normal conversation, but it is not. These are emotional tests. When someone has strong feelings but is afraid to confess, they try to understand your thoughts first. They want to know where they stand before risking anything. So they ask indirect questions. They listen carefully to your answers. They watch your expressions. They notice your tone. Every detail matters to them. Your answers become signals in their mind. If what you say feels far from them, they become quieter. If it feels close to who they are, they become more hopeful. But they will never tell you what they are really doing, because they are still protecting themselves, still trying to understand your emotional world without revealing their own. And the closer they get to confessing, the more these casual questions start to feel meaningful, because for them, they already are meaningful. Sign 5. Subtle jealousy starts to appear. It is not loud or obvious. There are no dramatic reactions, no direct comments. But something changes when other people enter the picture. You might mention someone in a simple story, nothing serious, just a normal moment. But their energy shifts. They become quieter. Their tone changes slightly. Their responses feel different. It is easy to miss if you are not paying attention, but emotionally, something is happening inside them. When someone has been quietly building feelings for you, they already imagine a space in your life. Even if it was never real, it feels real to them. So when another person appears in your story, it feels like a threat to that imagined space. Not because they think they own you, but because they are afraid of losing the place they hope to have in your life. But they cannot say anything. They do not have the right to express jealousy. So it comes out in small ways. A quieter tone, a delayed reply, a shift in attention. Small signals that are easy to ignore, but hard to miss once you notice them. Because underneath it all is fear. Fear that they might lose you before they ever had the courage to tell you how they feel. Sign 6. They start showing up more than usual. Their presence becomes more consistent. Not overwhelming, not forced, just more frequent. They reply faster. They start conversations more often. They check in without a strong reason. It feels natural on the surface, like they simply enjoy talking to you. But there is a deeper shift happening. This is not random attention. It is intentional closeness. When someone gets closer to confessing, something inside them changes. They begin to feel like time is limited. Like if they do not act soon, they might lose their chance completely. So they start investing more time and energy into you. They want to stay connected. They want to remain close. They want to build comfort before taking a risk that could change everything. You notice it in small details. They remember things you said casually. They follow up on topics you forgot about. They stay in conversations longer than needed, as if they do not want the moment to end. It is not just talking, it is staying near you emotionally. Because they are trying to make the connection stronger before anything is said out loud. Sign 7. They almost confess, then stop. There comes a moment when everything feels different. The conversation is normal, but there is tension underneath it. They start to say something, then they pause. The sentence does not finish the way it should. They change direction. They smile it off. They act like nothing happened. But you feel it. Something was about to be said. In that moment, their emotions are at the highest point. The desire to finally speak becomes strong, almost uncontrollable. But right before the words come out, fear takes over again. Fear of rejection. Fear of losing the connection. Fear of changing everything between you. So they stop. Not because they do not want to tell you, but because telling you would change everything they have been carefully holding together. You may notice it in their body language. A breath they do not finish. A look that lasts a little too long. A sentence that starts with words like, "I just," and then fades away. It is subtle but powerful, because in that moment you saw the truth trying to come out, and you saw it stop. The twist, it did not start where you think. You may believe these feelings started recently, but that is not true for them. This did not begin a few days ago or even a few weeks ago. It started much earlier, in a moment you probably did not even notice. A small interaction, a simple exchange. Something ordinary for you, but meaningful for them. Maybe it was the way you spoke. Maybe it was how you treated them. Maybe it was just who you were in that moment without trying. While you moved on with your life, they held on to that moment. It stayed with them. It grew quietly over time. And without realizing it, you became part of their inner world. That is why everything now feels so layered. The hesitation, the attention, the memories, the emotional signals. None of it appeared suddenly. It has been building slowly in the background. So when the confession finally comes, it will not feel sudden to them. It will feel like something that has been waiting a long time, finally reaching the surface. Not every sign means someone is in love. Sometimes people are just comfortable, or naturally kind, or emotionally open in general. Human behavior can look deeper than it really is. But when real feelings exist, they do not stay hidden forever. They grow over time. They show through behavior, and eventually, they find a way to come out. Instead of guessing too much, pay attention to what feels consistent, natural, and mutual. Because in the end, truth is not only in signs, it is also in whether both people are ready to understand each other honestly.